Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to Ash Williams' Project Zomboid, which originally aired live on Twitch. And bye. So rude. Tusk. I'm a dog summoner. Wow, I slept in. 10 a.m. Alright, let's see if there's any other snub-nose. Oh yeah, here's more boxes of snub-nose. I foresee me needing it. Alright, I think that's all of the pistol rounds I have. Nope, there's more. Dang. So I have 12 times 30. Yeah, I have a lot more ammo for this dinky little pistol. Because nothing else uses this pistol ammo, so... I might as well use up all these shots. Tusk is definitely the most kind-hearted of the three puppies, yeah. Well, Yoda's pretty kind-hearted too. He's not generous. Like, it's actually really cute when they all eat together, and they all, three of them have different foods. Echo has a hypoallergenic food that's really expensive, so I don't feed it to the other two dogs. And then Tusk has like a larger kibble, and Yoda has a smaller kibble. But sometimes Yoda doesn't like chewing up his food. But what will often happen is Tusk will like chew her big kibbles into smaller bits, and then Yoda will walk up and like steal them. But Tusk lets her steal them. It's really cute. So Tusk in a way like feeds Yoda her own food, because Yoda just like runs in there and steals it almost out of her mouth. Because this little guy is very rude. He cares not. Oh, did Yoda hear the word kibble? Yeah. He's at attention. You know, I'm gonna put this flashlight in the glove box as a backup flashlight. Okay, so I'm all set. It is 10:40, 10:50. Let's head to town. I've got 95 rounds, 6 in the barrel, or in the chamber, and then a bunch of spare boxes of ammo. Oh, hold on. I have 20 twine here that I don't need to be carrying. Whoa. Okay, all set. I have not tried to teach my dogs to feed themselves because 2 of my dogs have insatiable appetites and would overeat. Also, I can't let Echo eat Tusk's food or Yoda's food, and she would, if given the chance. Tusk has a big heart. Yeah, she does. She's a wonderful little puppy. So happy and kind. So I'm trying to think of where I should loot and shoot. Let me pause just a second and look at my map. Yeah, Yoda here would eat till he bursts, and then Echo wouldn't eat till she bursts, but she would definitely overeat until she was like just noticeably overweight. I think I'm gonna go back to Pharmahug. Pharmahug was one of the times that I got bit because I didn't clear out a bathroom. And I feel like there's more stuff at Pharmahug that I haven't grabbed. There's also, to note, a bunch of vehicles here. And I hit the only tree. I'm really... like, it's funny. In real life, no problem. But every time I look over at you, at chat, at the map, I just hit stuff. Oh, here's some zombies to kill. so inefficient. I'm a sneaky assassin. Oh! You see me. Let's not have you bite me. It's not a very powerful weapon, as I think I've demoed, but it's a really good practice weapon because of the amount of shots I need to take. Six shots per kill. Sometimes 3, but yeah, often 6. I'm the new sheriff in town. So the way it works is the longer you aim... There we go. The longer you aim, the more focused your shot, so it goes from red to orangey to green. And once you have a bright green, you have good aim. But given the range of this firearm... Ooh, some trash candy. Yes, please. Given the range of this firearm, it's kind of dangerous to use because you have, like, you end up letting zombies get way closer to you than what is comfortable for a firearm. Any ducks? Vitamins? I mean, that's something. Beta blockers. Like, why is there all this stuff in, like, a bathroom of a restaurant? And a random duffel bag. Ah, some disinfectant. Cotton balls aren't terrible either. I should have grabbed the other ones, but I'm not gonna bother. Cotton balls are a good way to make it so that if you have to disinfect a wound, you don't have to use so much alcohol. Because otherwise you pour alcohol in the wound and that uses a lot more than just dabbing a cotton ball. And yeah, I'm clearing this out with the my lead pipe, but that's just because in CQB I cannot in any way rely on the what, box of sparklers? Yes, please. I can't rely on the handgun being even remotely useful at point blank. Oh, we got some jar lids. That's good for jarring. Chocolate, chips, potatoes. Some good stuff here. Come on. I'm gonna leave that. Some bourbon. Vinegar. Yeah, there's a lot. Oh, more bourbon. Man, these employees... Well, I guess that is the stereotype of chefs. Granted, this is a Spiffos. So... Ooh, a box of jars. There we go. It's going to be very good for jarring. More vinegar. Man, this place has loads of stuff that I can use to jar up canned goods. So maybe next time I'm home, I'll do a bit of jarring to secure more food for the winter. But I'm nearly at my back breaking point. I'm gonna have to go back to the car. Another like 30-something kilos of dried goods here. Do I have carry weight for this? I do. Okay, so that's pretty much everything here. I'll come back and do a quick run through. Celebrate the box of jars by emptying the bourbon into my stomach. We know how that goes. It does not go well. The last time I was drunk driving, I near killed myself. Hey, Tumbling. Uh-oh. Oh, what, you're just attracted to car noise? Hey, Tumbling, there's a new channel in Discord that you might be interested in. The stream team channel suggestions for names. I don't know what to name a stream team, but I'm pretty sure when I make the request, I'm going to need to pick a name outright. So if you want to propose a name for that, if really any subscriber here wants to propose a name for the stream team, feel free to suggest. And then we'll vote on it, as is tradition. All right, let's get back in there. I'm gonna turn off my truck. Yeah, and the Twitch partners are allowed to make 2 stream teams ever. You can be on multiple teams, but you can only have up to 2 ever. And there's not like it's a strange process because I have to like contact support, like partner support, and like talk to them. There's not like an automated process. It's very strange. I don't know why they make it so difficult to make a stream team. There's no like automated way to do it. Spiffos here doesn't have an upstairs, does it? Just has a like a Pizza Hut roof, I think. No, flat roof. Oh, this would actually be a really good base if you could create yeah, that would be a really good base location if you wanted to build your base by scratch, because that's a nice flat roof. Probably a lack of demand. Yeah, probably a lack of demand. But it's a feature that like a developer could spend an afternoon developing. Like it's really wouldn't be that challenging to design like an automated system to allow you to do it. No exaggeration, it would take me like an afternoon to build that. But yeah, whatever. It's just Twitch being Twitch. Dem Tacos, yeah. Dem Tacos and Squeaky, if you're here too. If you want to suggest your own names, feel free. Could you build it and prevent possible abuse? Yeah, it actually wouldn't be that challenging. I guess they have a manual. Car, could you start? I guess they have a manual system to be able to approve names, because I suppose there's a I suppose there's the possibility of people using like inappropriate or terms of service violating names. I don't know. I don't know why they have it like so manual. What is going on here? It's a shotgun and an M9 pistol just laying on the ground. Oh, and a cop. Sorry, officer. It was either you or me. Oh, so this isn't a grip. That's just a handgun. Yeah, it's only available to partners, and a partner can only ever make 2 teams ever. So it's not that I can belong to 2 teams. It is like I can only ever make 2 teams. So there's a lot of barriers for team creation. So I'm surprised there isn't like a more automated system, but whatever. It is what it is. Gigamart waistcoat. I shut his glasses off. I am enjoying running and gunning though. I will openly admit it has been fun just to shoot everything. Zero. Thanks for all the gifted subs. So Zero and I will be playing once I'm done playing Zomboid. I'm gonna eat some dinner, and then we'll probably be back at it playing Escape from Tarkov. So if you want to see Zero and I rip it up in Tarkov, go ahead and follow him. And I won't be streaming it, but he will. I'll be streaming it on Discord. He'll be streaming it on Twitch. And I often spend some weekends ripping up Tarkov. Or the opposite, me getting completely dunked on by everything. But last night was fun. Last night we won most of our firefights. And I ended up like quadrupling my net worth in a night, which was cool. Oh boy. So, oh, I hear something bashing, knocking. This Pharma-Hug is going to have far more medical supplies than I'm even going to want to loot. Because this thing is like the mother lode of meds. But there might be some chips and things. Oh my god, there's so much. I'm just gonna skip this because like there's no way I need more meds. I have 50 kilos of meds back home. Oh god, this gun is so inaccurate. Of all the meds I have, I guess what wouldn't hurt is if I found more... Oh, Jesus. More antibiotics. Because that's the only thing that I could imagine I would want. Because I think I took a bunch of antibiotics the last time I was infected. But with that said, my guess is there's not a lot of antibiotics left on the shelves here. And maybe bottles of disinfectant wouldn't be terrible either. Because I think I used up a whole lot of disinfectant as well. Since bandages are reusable and like painkillers and things like that come in such giant bottles that it takes a while to use them up. I mean, essentially, when you're playing Zomboid, if you need to use medicine skill often, you're probably playing poorly because it's not one of these games that you should have to heal yourself continually because you're already dead then. Yeah, unless you throw yourself off a roof and break your femur. Compensating bad player skill with character skill. Yeah. I would say any good player of Zomboid probably has almost no medical skill. Because if you're leveling up your medical skill, you're not a good player. You know? I have leveled up my medical skill pretty considerably. I'm not saying I'm a good player. I definitely have taken more hits and damage than I should have. Let me pop open 2 more boxes of this stuff. Another thing that I have to think about. Yeah, my revolver is a little damaged. So it's not something I'm going to be able to fire forever and not do maintenance upon. But I think the maintenance for the revolvers are weird. You just combine broken revolvers together, it looks like. So that's not necessarily something I'm gonna... I don't know. That's strange. I'll just use the next revolver, thank you. Oh, look at this. Yeah, Pharma-Hug is just full of drugs and... Yeah, this is like 15 lifetime supplies of medicine. Except for antibiotics. I think I already grabbed all the antibiotics, so there's really no antibiotics left. And that would be all that I would want from here. So yeah, your character can get sick with well, the way the game works is like the zombie virus will never show up. It will never tell you that you're infected. You can get regular wound infections, and the game does inform you when you have a regular wound infection, but a zombie infection, you'll just feel sick. And then you'll eventually get to a point where you feel so sick that you lose life over time, and there's no way to recover it, and then you eventually die and become a, whoa, we got some friends. Then you eventually become a zombie. So that's how the virus works. Nope. Ooh, what was that? That was aiming level 1. Can you Mad Max a car? Not yet, but it's a planned feature. One of the most important skills of using a gun is counting to 6 while under duress. Yeah, there's no magic guns like the Westerns. You fire 6 times with a 6-chambered revolver, and you have 6 bullets. It's something I really like about Zomboid. I mean, everything about Zomboid is supposed to be, like, pseudo-realistic. So there aren't, like, you know, there's no way to just magically have infinite bullets or, you know, chambers that go on forever or whatever. I really like that, because I always cringe. I'm not even much of a gun nut in real life, and I always cringe when I see video games and movies that just have, like, infinite rounds where you never seem to run out of ammo and you never see the characters reload. And even movies that, like, pride themselves on, like, realism do that all the time. This is the auto mechanic, I think. So it is officially December 1st. Oh, there you are. I'm gonna have to turn back to go home soon. 4, 5, 6, and move. John Wick is pretty good about it, but that's like the whole shtick, is that it's supposed to be the gunplay in the movie is supposed to be better than average. And, you know, they had Keanu basically drill for a long time. To be proficient enough to actually pull it off, because it's, you know, the movie making magic can't mask a lack of skill very well. If you watch like a Liam Neeson fight scene, or, you know, people that don't have formal like martial arts training, the fight scenes are like infinite cuts. Wow, you soaked us some bullets there, lady. Alright, I know I littered some corpses in the street. I don't think I'm gonna fix that. I'm just gonna leave them there and try to drive around them. Yeah, 40 cuts to jump a fence. Yeah, that's exactly what I was referencing. Whereas, it gives you an appreciation for, like, Jet Li and Jackie Chan. that they can do their own stunts, and there's not a lot of the like jump edit cut magic, which is so not fun to watch on screen. When it's like one karate chop is like 16 cuts, and you're like, oh dear lord, this is impossible to enjoy. That's at least how I feel. So it is nice when there's people that, you know, actually have training, can do their own stunts, because otherwise the movie is just like one big cut up nightmare. All right, my revolver's holding fast. I've already searched this building pretty thoroughly. I don't think I need to go in there. But that was some good gunplay. Definitely got the opportunity to shoot a whole bunch. And now my aiming is... my reloading is 2 and change, and my aiming is 1 and change. Yeah, Tom Cruise does dedicate to the task. So that he does a pretty good job of, you know, he does a easily above average job. But then I remember, oh man, it was years ago now, maybe like 5 or 6. It was before. I was actually even more than, you know. You have these sort of like old generation of like action actors. You know, the Schwarzenegger and Stallone. That they're all in their like late 60s, early 70s. Bruce Willis, Nicolas Cage, Travolta to some degree, Kilmer. And there was not so much a new generation that followed up after them that were similar caliber. There's not a lot of like younger, and I don't mean comic book. Obviously, there's a ton of like younger actors that do comic book style, but there's not a lot that do the original. Like, I guess a better way to put it is like, who would you cast nowadays for Die Hard or Predator? Right? There's just not. Oops, wrong way. There's not a lot of actors that like fit that niche anymore. Where yeah, making you feel old. Yeah. And that's why a lot of those films now flop. Yeah, there's no new Dirty Harry or Death Wish. Exactly. Because the action actors that we ask for now either make super cheesy movies that are like cringe and I can't watch them, or comic book movies and there's almost nothing in between. The Rock for the Predator? As much as I like Dwayne Johnson, no. It wouldn't work. Because I do actually think he's an okay actor. But he only plays himself most of the, like 99% of the time. And that's true of a lot of the comic book actors. They really only play themselves. You know, and there's a very few of them that have range that that would allow them to do anything other than just being themselves. Here's a quick question. Do you... Hold on a second. Do you want another day of run and gun? Or loot and shoot? Or should I move on to a new thing on the polls? So here it is. Another day of loot and shoot? Simple yes or no. I think this flashlight was supposed to go into the glove box, but never made it. Okay, I'm full up. Yeah, the comic book movies definitely ended up breeding the new wave of, like... Henry Cavill's a pretty good A pretty solid choice. Yeah. No, that's true. I would say there's a few that are solid choices that have range, but there's not many that, yeah, which is perhaps because the demand for those old style action films just have gone down. And then when they do cast for them, it's just like Red 2, where it's just like a bunch of old fogies, you know? Because I would say, like, you know, you're welcome to, of course, disagree, but I would say, like, an actor like, I'll just take Brad Pitt, for example. Brad Pitt is a very fine actor in most of what he does, but then you watch, like, him in Troy, and it's just like, oh, God. Oh, God. It's dreadful. You know? Him in Seven, amazing. Him in Troy, oof, terrible. You know what I mean? It's like, they just don't do action well. It's almost to the point where, like, I feel like action is such a different beast that, like, they forget about, like, a lot of the action actors don't act in action films. They just, like, want to throw punches or whatever. I don't know. There's just such a lack of a focus of the acting itself that it hurts. And then I also, I don't even think this is controversial. I would also say that the age of, like, you know, the age of the sort of karate style of movies are kind of over, and it died with the legend a bit. It's not entirely true, but I don't think there's much of a demand for those types of movies anymore, which is too bad. That's an interesting point, that there's the whole toxic masculinity blowback of, like, the predators and I don't know, I'm trying to think of some action films. I guess the easier way to think about it is, like, what are some action films that I thought were phenomenal in the last, like, 5 or 10 years where the actors did a really good job that weren't, like, comic book styled? That's probably the easier way to think about it, and there's been some. You know, there's been some really good action films that have come out, so it's not entirely perfectly true. It's just, it is a genre that I think has been slowly on the decline for a long time now. Yeah, like Fury Road was a really good one, but yeah, I'm actually very surprised at how Fury Road is, like, the exception that almost proves the rule. That if you look at, like, IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes of everything that has come out action film wise for, like, the last 15 years, Fury Road stands so far ahead of almost every other film that has come out that it honestly, if anything, proves my point that the sort of traditional action genre kind of died, and there's very, very few films that actually succeed. But that's also part of the reason for that, I think, is that Hollywood is less willing to take chances, so everything is a sequel, and in a sea of sequels, there is not a lot of room for standout movies. You know, it's very easy to just have sequel garbage, or whatever you want to call it. That's Pate. Yeah, I'm definitely been worn down of sequel garbage myself, which is funny because I actually do like. Oop, Metal Sheets don't belong in there. I do like a lot of the comic book movies, but almost none of them I would say I would find myself watching more than once. There's very, very, very few of them. And a lot of them are just, like, cringeworthy bad. Like, I don't know, let's say the newest X-Men movie. Oh my god, you could not pay me to watch that again. It was so bad. It was like CW drama bad. It was like the director had a lobotomy in the middle of directing it bad. Logan was I was floored by the quality of Logan. I mean, I knew that Hugh Jackman is of the older generation, right? Pierce Brosnan, Hugh Jackman. There aren't my point is there's not a lot of young actors that can pull off what, you know, Clint Eastwood might, you know, or that style of, you guys get what I'm saying. There's very few, and especially for female actresses, you know, there really just isn't individuals that do that well anymore. But enough rambling. So it looks like you guys want another day of run and gun. I'm going to try to probably go into the heart, for better or for worse, in the heart of West Point and mess around in there. Black Panther, Endgame, Mission Impossible Fallout, Mad Max Fury Road. Yeah, I just looking at that list there. I guess the bigger question is, what films will people care about 20, 30 years from now? What films stand the test of time? And I think as much as I find them entertaining, very few of the superhero-styled movies, I think, anyone will watch a generation from now. I think they're popular now. I don't think they're going to be popular ages from now. I don't think that's a particularly controversial, you know. I think the comic book movies to our generation will be the spaghetti western of the boomers generation. That they're popular briefly, and then they really fall out of favor. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But who knows? Alright, it's 1 in the morning. Let's back up the save and do another game, another day of run and gun. Yeah, or let's talk about horror. The spaghetti western has led to Kurosawa and Lucas. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Again, I'm not that much of a movie buff, and I'm certainly not a good movie critic. I'm a good video game critic, given the amount of video games that I play. I could talk about the downfall of video games and the rise of microtransactions till the cows come home. That is a trend, I think, between large video game companies feeling beholden to shareholders and parent companies. And that probably has ruined the video game industry more than anything else. I think that is the poison root cause of why video games are like almost any issue you have with video games today, I think you can trace back to parent companies and shareholders. Like, any complaint about a video game, and that you can almost assuredly trace it back to that. Like, I'll name some. Like, oh, why was Cyberpunk bad? Well, Cyberpunk rolled out before it was ready. They overpromised stuff, and it wasn't ready to come out, and it were released, and when it released, it was not what it should have been because of parent companies and shareholders. You know what I mean? Or like, why isn't there a new GTA. Well, there's not a new GTA because they microtransactioned and gamified and had, like, you know, multiplayer type stuff of the original game, which meant that there has been no demand for new game because they're still bleeding dry the consumers that play the last game, right? Like, if you name a game, I can explain why, or have a complaint about the gaming industry. Almost all of it can be easily traced back to because it's cheaper not to make something fresh. It's cheaper not to introduce something fun. They're, you know, the industry is out of ideas, but they just keep bleeding the old ideas out. Tusk. There you go. Hi, hun. Which is why in the same time period that, like, 3 GTAs came out in the early 2000s, you've had a single GTA nowadays, right? Like, they're just... Video game companies have become exceptionally good at churning out games that they can bleed for money for, like, a decade. Like, Skyrim is almost a decade old now. Because I know we were talking about Skyrim earlier. Skyrim came out 11/11/11, right? Why has there not been a new Skyrim? Oh, you know, because the company rolled out Fallout 76 and had monthly subscription Game Pass DLC microtransaction up the wazoo, and that keeps the bills paid, you know, sort of chewing the same cud. The issue with KSP is another great example. KSP is sold, right? KSP is no longer, it's now 2-Take, not Squad. That's why when you're talking about Kerbal Space Program, what it was 2 years ago versus what it is today, all the DLCs that they introduced after 2-Take acquired it, in my opinion, have been trash. Buggy, garbage, trash. And I'm not actually excited for KSP2 because it's under new management, essentially. And I'm worried that the new management is just going to churn out more garbage trash. I would love to be wrong. But generally, when a small company is purchased by a big company, the big company forces the small company to make decisions it doesn't want to make. Take League of Legends. You know, I'm not a League of Legends player, but take League of Legends as an example. League of Legends was entirely purchased by Tencent. Tencent only really cared about marketing the game to its Chinese audience and forced League of Legends to pivot in directions that it refused to. And then Tencent was like, well, if you refuse to, well, guess what? We're going to design, like, Tencent wanted like a mobile game because in China, mobile games are you know, really where the money is. So for that exact reason, they basically forced League of Legends or Riot to design a mobile game that it never wanted to design and bastardized its original game and its original product because their parent company demanded them to. Same deal with Diablo Mobile. You remember how angry everyone was when, like, they were like, oh, we have a huge announcement. It's Diablo Mobile. And people were like, Diablo Mobile? Like, come on, who asked for this? No one wants this. It pissed off everybody. It was universally hated. And they were like, oh, I wonder why they hate it. It's because it's like, no American gamer was like, you know what I really want? Diablo, but watered down for a phone. Like, said no one ever. You know what I mean? And again, that easily is traceable to a parent company making decisions that benefits no one but its shareholders. No one but its shareholders. So that's why I'm really wary when indie companies get purchased and bought out, is because, you know, sometimes you lose your soul. And there's exceptions, right? Because Oxygen Not Included, or CLE, that makes, Don't Starve and Oxygen Not Included in games like that, they were also bought out by Tencent, but somehow have retained creative control to the point where they haven't had to like sell them their soul to Tencent, which is surprising. But also, if you look at some of the other CLE games, I'll put it this way: there are some CLE games that you probably have never heard of, because, I can't be certain about this, but I'm assuming it's because basically Tencent told them, hey, we want you to make a game that's better suited to like a Chinese audience. Yeah, I would agree. Riot did a pretty decent job of making a mobile game, but that's because Tencent literally started to develop their own mobile game and threatened to be a direct competitor to League of Legends, and then the developers of League of Legends were like, okay. Like if you're really going to compete with the company that you purchased, fine. We will we'll make a mobile game and we'll do it right. Which is why, like, I am not a player of League of Legends, but from what I understand, the mobile game isn't garbage. It's good for a mobile game. So this car looks pretty mint. And it even has gas. I towed this one back because I think it's a short and stubby enough car to be a good wall filler for the gas station. Why am I driving over here, though? I'm going to have to, well, walk home, whatever. Yeah. So, if you look at, like, companies like Activision, really almost point to any large video game company, they do not have their consumers' best interest. That is not what they're about. Whoa, this car was in such good condition until I smashed the window out. It's like hood is 97%, engine 96%. It's like one of the nicest quality I've seen to date. I'm not gonna line it up to park it just now. I'm gonna continue to run and gun. Would you say there are fewer original good small games? No, I would say there's actually the same amount, but that the industry is so flooded that it's hard for small games to succeed because there's so many competitors that might even be inferior. Basically, that the video game market just has too much stuff. Good, good for consumers, bad for developers because it's over saturated. If you look at the amount of games, the small indie titles that have released to Steam, oh, it's absurd. It's downright ridiculous how many games there are. Which, again, is great for the consumers, like you and me, really bad for a developer, because it's really hard to have a breakout hit. For every Valheim, there are 100 Valheims that fail. Right? Or, pick any breakout hit. And that's generally true. And I would go so far as to say, like, Valheim isn't particularly special compared to there's a lot of games that are like quite like Valheim that like no one bought. And I don't mean to be picking necessarily on Valheim, I'm just saying it's so difficult to have like a breakout hit nowadays. Okay, onwards, back to shooting. I have 150 rounds ready to go. Let's go back to the center of town. Valheim is pretty polished for an indie game, but I don't know. I've played like 5 or 6 games that are like relatively of that quality that probably sold, you know, a few thousand copies, and Valheim sold like hundreds of thousands. And what is the difference? Like, why was one more successful than the other? Just things go viral and it's unpredictable, and it's not necessarily the best quality stuff that goes viral. It just happens. It like releases at the right time with not enough competitors or an unsaturated, you know, or same with like Zoom. Not that Zoom's a video game, but Zoom, as far as like a teleconferencing platform, isn't great. It's just, you know, during the height of COVID, people didn't want to use, for whatever reason, people gravitated towards Zoom over, like, Skype. And I can't tell you why. They just did. I mean, I will say that, like, Google Hangout video chat sucked. So I understand why Zoom beat Google Hangout. Well, why did Zoom beat Discord? I think because Discord was, like, stigmatized as, like, a gamer network. But in my opinion, I think Discord is better than Zoom. Both for consumer protections and privacy, for features, for ease of use. Well, ease of use, I think Discord is actually where it fails a bit. Discord is actually kind of difficult to understand if you're new to it. But still, I think it's a superior product over Zoom. Easily. But it just didn't succeed because the news basically talked up Zoom when COVID hit. And that's it. That's like the only reason it succeeded. You know, if the large media corporations talked up Skype, people would have gravitated towards Skype. I don't think it was actually because Zoom was like the miraculously so much better than its competitors. It was just chatted about. No, don't punch the zombie. Ooh, we got some people. Oh, another cop. Maybe I can get a cop vest. Zoom is easier to spell than Skype. Yeah, maybe that was it. Who knows? How's my skill coming? So we're... If I had a shotgun, man, this would be street sweeping. But we're kind of in the heart of West Point, which is why I'm here. Because there'd be a lot of zombies. But it's going to make clearing it out safely a little bit more difficult. It's high noon. Yeah, Discord was obviously stigmatized, and in the last year, they've tried to pivot away from a gamer network. I mean, they literally used to advertise themselves as, like, you know, chats for gamers. And now they've pivoted to, like, chat for everybody. And it's like, nah, it's too late. You missed the window. Nobody's uninstalling Zoom for Discord anymore, Discord. Sorry. Like, that ship has sailed. Oh, here's an M36. Nice. Nice. I don't know why a cop has an M36. That seems like a really weird choice. But the bulletproof vest that this cop has is ruined. Maybe because I shot him a bunch. I don't know. Exactly like Twitch. I do think that Twitch, with its origins of Justin TV, and the fact that the vast majority of its users are gamers, isn't so much stigmatized as a gaming network. It very much honestly is. It's geared towards gaming. Almost all of its categories are for gaming. You've got, like, you know, 99% of the categories are gaming categories, and then 1% is, like, you know, just chatting, DJ stuff. It's such a tiny minority of Twitch users that you do anything but game on it. That it's not a stigma, it's just true. All right, let me open all these snub nose boxes. So between the M36 that I have and the M36 that I just looted off that cop, I think that's probably all the M36s I'm going to need before I run out of M36 bullets. So this, if you're wondering, where's the swarms? This gun, contrary to how loud it sounds, is a pretty quiet weapon. Its sound radius is very, very, very small, which is why I'm using it. It's a good trainer, because it's not summoning holy hell upon me. Like if I shot a shotgun, it would. Nice! 6 shots, 3 kills. That's definitely better than my previous ratio. Silencers don't exist in this game. So it doesn't have a silencer attachment because there's no such thing. Yes, there's a mod. I don't use mods. So... yes. This is vanilla entirely, and will remain so. I was like gun fu right there. He was right next to me. And that doggo was just ambient noise. You know what I could do? If you all want... If so... Alright, let me open up the channel point redemptions for suggestions. But then I have an idea of my own, which might be spicy. Which is just to try to take census of... So here, I think this is what, the town hall? Give puppies a treat. Hey, buddy. Oh, you dropped it. Oh, and then it rolled halfway across the room. Here's a new one. Tusk got the one that rolled. I'm surprised you shocked me. Everyone uses mods. So my modus operandi for all games that I play is the first time I play them on stream or on YouTube, because I'm also a YouTuber, it will be mod free. It will be vanilla. So I just had a, you know, recently I've played Banished with no mods, which shocked people. I played Oxygen Not Included with no mods, Mountain Blade with no mods. You know, I play everything with no mods the first time around. I don't have anything against mods, but I will say that as soon as you start using mods, you make it challenge. Oh man, I'm getting cornered here, aren't I? Sprint. As soon as you start using mods, you make it more difficult for the average viewer to understand what you're doing, right? So if I started installing mods in a Zomboid, people that have never seen Zomboid before, if they were wondering what it's about, and they see me running around with crossbows or like suppressed weapons or whatever, and then they themselves play it, they're gonna wonder, hey, where is the crossbow? Where is the suppressed weapons? Because, you know, it makes it confusing to learn a new game for people if I've modified the base game so significantly that it's unrecognizable. Which is very much the reason why when I play a new game, it will be mod free. So that if someone wants to play along and understand and learn the game, I'm not making it more difficult for them. So typically the only mods I use first time around will be UI mods that add UI elements. Yeah, exactly. Because they're not hard to understand. I'm definitely not clearing this building out, like, safely. I'm, like, running around inside, like, shooting it up. And I can hear a heck of a lot of zombies upstairs, angry about the fact that I make a noise. Thank you for tuning in to Ash Williams' Project Zomboid, which originally aired live on Twitch. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of Ash Williams' Project Zomboid, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. Thank you so very much for watching. I'll catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell.